Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video. It's been a minute since I've recorded last. My last video was about LaMelo and about the draft class. The draft is a few, weeks away, months away. I don't even know when it is. So I'm not going to post a lot of content about that just because it's so far away. But I thought you see the title of the video. Frank Kaminsky is in the NBA Finals, which, gives me an opportunity to talk about the NBA Finals, even though the Charlotte Hornets are nowhere near this level. It gives me a chance to, relate a Hornets player or a former Hornets player into the NBA Finals. You guys can hear I'm sick a little bit. My voice is kind of, I don't know, rough. But Frank Kaminsky is in the NBA Finals, which is just crazy to say. And I've talked about Frank a little bit on this channel over the course of how many reaction videos and how many videos in general. But drafting him in 2015, towards where he is now, it's a completely different player. Even though his points have gone down since his Charlotte days, his minutes have gone down. He's playing on a championship team. He's a bench warmer for a championship team. So obviously he's not, as productive. But just to see him in this role as, what did he shoot from three this year? He shot 36%, which is crazy. He came into the league, he shot 33%, 32%. And then he shot 38% his third year, but that was, lower efficiency. And it's just crazy to see this player arc because coming into the league, coming in from Wisconsin, he was not a stretch big. And it's just crazy to see his progression and to see him on a championship roster, even though we shouldn't have drafted him with the 9th pick, using a top 10 pick on him last year. Let me just look through the players that we could have drafted instead of Frank Kaminsky. We got Miles Turner, which I didn't make a video about trading for. Devin Booker, pick 13. Cameron Payne, pick 14. Terry Rozier, pick 16. I mean, there was a bunch of players that we could have drafted instead of Frank Kaminsky, but he did have decent years with us, not insane. He had one season where he averaged almost 12 points a game. But yeah, we let him go after the 2019 season. Didn't pick up his team option. He spent, a little bit in free agency, and Phoenix picked him up last season for the bubble, or a little bit before the bubble. He showed out, got a little second 1-year deal, and he stayed on it. He has a chance to win a championship. And if I want to talk about the finals for a second, we got not my Milwaukee Bucks, but my second favorite team, the Milwaukee Bucks, in the NBA Finals. I'm personally predicted this in my playoff prediction video, and a lot of people call me crazy. I have one comment that you can see under that video, and it's some guy saying you are way too high on the Bucks, and I think there's like 1 or 2 likes on that comment. And I just like to say that I'm right. And even while doing that playoff prediction video, I still didn't think this was the Bucks year. Even though I predicted them in the NBA Finals, I still didn't see them going to the NBA Finals because they had to go through Brooklyn. I mean, Miami was their first round matchup, which everybody thought that would be a tough task, but it wasn't. Then they had to go through Brooklyn. Then, I thought they would be tired by the third round going against the 76ers. Obviously, the 76ers and Ben Simmons particularly didn't make it past the Hawks. And then, the Bucks kind of willed their way to victory in Game 6. Bucks in 6, baby. But, yeah, they're in the NBA Finals. Their roster this season isn't as good as, 2 years ago, although they have, Drew Holiday instead of Eric Bledsoe. It's pretty much the same roster with, marginally different players. You got PJ Tucker, which makes a huge difference for them. But other than that, you got players like Bobby Portis stepping up, which I think the Hornets should, try to overpay a little bit this offseason. You got Chris Middleton having big games, cash money. Jeff Teague, valuable minutes off the bench. I think Boston maybe should have kept him as that, backup point guard role. Boston has so many young guards that it would benefit them to have Jeff Teague mentor them. That's just what I'm saying. Even I think he got traded to Orlando. Boston traded him to Orlando, and I think Orlando, they have a chance to draft Jonathan Kuminga. I think Jonathan Kuminga could have a chance to learn from Jeff Teague. But it's nice to see Jeff Teague in a championship opportunity. And speaking of, players that have championship finals experience. It's only Jay Crowder with 6 games, and that is it, which is crazy that both rosters, there's only one guy that has been to the finals. That hasn't happened often, if ever. If I want to look at Phoenix's roster, I mean, they just have a lot of guys that they either drafted really well or they hit on in, the free agency market. I mean, really notable signings that, not a lot of people look at. I mean, people look at the Chris Paul trade. Yeah, that was pretty good. But you got Etuan Moore in free agency that they picked up. Jay Crowder, which was an insane pickup. Langston Galloway provides really good mentoring off the bench. They drafted Mikal Bridges. They drafted Cameron Johnson. I mean, these players, I remember when Cameron Johnson was drafted, everybody was like, this guy's drafted way too high. He's way too old to be effective. You guys are, and it was a good pick. So, that's always why you should, like, if I looked at draft grades for the what was it, 2018-2019 draft class, I forget which one Cameron Johnson was in, it would probably be an F, because nobody believed in him that he could be a productive player on a championship team. You got DeAndre Ayton stepping up. You have obviously the big names, and Devin Booker and Chris Paul having big moments. Who do I like in this finals matchup? I don't really know. I think it's a tough task for DeAndre Ayton to guard Giannis. That is, if Giannis is the same person that he has been all season, because he has that hyperextended knee, which could limit him. He's doubtful for game 1, so I think Phoenix takes game 1. But also, Giannis could be rested. Unlike most of these guys, Phoenix was just in a tough series against the Clippers. Even though it went 5 games, they still were in a tough series. It might have won 6 games if I'm forgetting. Maybe 5, whatever. But regardless, I think Giannis could either be, really, what am I trying to say? Really rested, and he could be like fucking Thor out there or something. Or he could be, a shell of himself. So it's really hard to know. Who's guarding Devin Booker? Probably Drew Holiday if he doesn't guard Chris Paul. But yeah, it should be a good finals matchup. I love the teams in here. You don't get many Milwaukee, Phoenix finals, so just cherish it when it happens, guys. And I'm gonna try to make it to into Milwaukee one of these games, hopefully. But yeah, it's gonna do it for me. If you like these videos, subscribe, like, all that jazz, and I'll see you guys later.